Hey fellow comrades, welcome back. Today we're gonna be having a match against John Origins. Being that John must be a really good player, I've decided to use a team that I feel most comfortable in using and see how it goes. Quillfish against Rotom. I was expecting him to either lead with Steelix or his Hariyama. It's not really a big surprise considering my team's weakness, but it was definitely a good call on his behalf. So, good call, a bad call on my behalf. I'm gonna make up for it, try at least. By switching out to Draudigon. Unfortunately, he's got a Volt Switch indicating the damage that is choice specs without a doubt. Considering the Guts boost right there, I was predicting him to go for either Close Combat Facade, Stone Edge, but he surprised me by going for the Ice Punch. That was a bit of a misplay considering that Close Combat is much more powerful than Ice Punch, even against Draudigon that's weak to Ice in general. So that's gonna give me the opportunity to put up some spikes. He's gonna decide to lead down to his Rotom again and try to get some team switch initiative even further. I'm not gonna switch out to Draudigon this turn. I'm expecting him to go for a Hidden Bar Ice if he does have it. I wanna, just in case, predict it coming by switching out to something that can most likely take 2. But he's gonna Volt Switch. Now that's a bit of a problematic scene because considering I'm gonna need to switch out to my Intimidate Quillfish, very blankly obvious switch, and he's gonna see it coming by going for the U-turn. Could have made a double switch if he did not have a U-turn, but he did have U-turn at his disposal. Of course, he's gonna make something, something of a charm right there by switching out to his Rotom, not allowing me to put up any sort of spikes. And switching out to my Draudigon yet again, realizing that I can probably take 2 T-Bolts if I can take Volt Switches, at least 3 of them. I'm kind of guessing. Yeah, I can take 3 of them, but still, again, I'm kind of going towards specs because that's been doing a considerable amount. Draudigon is a very bulky Pokemon. Maybe we tend to underestimate it at times, even after not being invested. This thing is not invested in special defense outside of HP, but it's really bulky. After that, I'm just gonna go for Sucker Punch to try to make up for all those lost turns, because I'm starting to realize that I'm just taking moves. I'm not doing any decent damage to make up for all those lost turns, and I kind of felt like this is gonna be a good deal. But going for the Sucker Punch, and then after that, giving an opponent thinking that we're gonna play it safe, but going for the Sucker Punch again. But unfortunately, gonna make the right call here and go for the Stealth Rocks, expecting him to predict me to Sucker Punch. So I didn't only put up the rocks on that particular turn, but I managed to have my Draudigon as a death fodder for later on, because if Steelix would have come in on the Sucker Punch, then he would have easily taken me down with Earthquake, as I would have put up the Stealth Rocks for the Magmortar later on. So in case scenario, it was definitely a preferable option of me not going for the Sucker Punch in that particular turn. Still, Clefable comes in. I'm gonna have Steelix as a recovery fodder by going for the Soft Boil on his Slowking Switch, and Slowking Switch was a little bit of a surprise because there is really not much Slowking can do. Psyshock Specs can definitely be a threat. Actually, even Specs in general can really pack a punch, but this is a Calm Mind Clefable, and one-on-one can definitely manage to handle. And this is yet another reason. This is why I've switched out to my Quillfish. Part of me expect the over prediction with U-turn, but still, this was why I couldn't allow it to be taken down. Calm Mind Clefable can easily shut down Slowking and Steelix, not to mention it can do a massive hole of damage against the things that come in. This turn I didn't want to Calm Mind because I'm not a player that does that. The reason I Calm Mind first is because it was not all that common to begin with, and after that I'm not going to be Calm Minding because I know Hariyama can come in and it can threat me out, especially after being paralyzed. There is no question about it, Hariyama can outspeed. So I did go for the Ice Beam on that turn, expecting him to switch out, and after that switching out to my Draudigon, expecting the Rough Skin to go even further. So Draudigon did some damage, putting up the rocks, Sucker Punch and Rough Skin against this guy being an excellent death fodder. Can't really ask for more, not to mention it let Hariyama live to at least some extent of HP to where I can still put up some spikes, so it managed to be truly useful on that behalf. Still, when you think about it, I should have T-Wave on the switch, I should have realized, but he did make a right call there by having Hariyama as a death fodder for later on, and I'll let my Quillfish just go down now. Considering if he's gonna Volt Switch, I can at least see what kind of switch he's gonna do, but considering that his Hariyama is digging his own grave, there's really not much I can lose now. My Quillfish was the true answer to it, and now that Hariyama is gone, he doesn't have a Rapid Spinner to begin with, plus he is poisoned, there's really not much Hariyama can do. I don't need to fear it anymore, so I can let my Quillfish go down It's been doing more than enough, more than plenty. Slowking comes in. I'm gonna appropriately counter his Slowking by switching out to my Clefable again. I'm gonna go for the Calm Mind, but unfortunately he switches out to Hariyama just in case I go for Ice Beam, expecting the Rotom, I'm guessing. Unfortunately that was not the case, and I did get the Paralyzation, which is gonna shut me down from getting that Calm Mind up. Now he's gonna go for a Volt Switch, and that did a lot, but thinking about it, I can probably even take Leaf Storm because 2 Volt Switches are equal power to Leaf Storm out of actually taking it. So just in case he does go for like a T-Bolt or something to try to 2-shot me, relying on Paralyzation, or just go for Leaf Storm trying to take me down, which would normally not happen, I go for Ice Beam, but he switches out to Magmortar in that turn after going for the Volt Switch, and then switch out to Chochino, expecting me to switch out to something that can take Magmortar on. Still, Rotom comes in next. Him seeing what kind of switch I did there, he could have easily Leaf Storm away, and checking out his team, Slowking is not that important. It's really not. Tangrowth is the important one. He's got his own Slowking, and nobody wants to see Slowking versus Slowking action. So Magmortar, Slowking is kind of key too, but once Magmortar has been taken down, again, it's just not that big of a core towards his team. So I know what I need to preserve in order to win. Still, I'm gonna switch out to my Clefable on this particular turn. He's gonna go for a Volt Switch. He's becoming a little bit too addictive, to be perfectly honest, which I can kind of understand, but at this point it's not gonna be enough to take me down. And if he's not gonna make a double switch right here, right now, then he's gonna be in a bit of a pickle position. I guess he can double switch to his Rotom, but then again I can easily switch out back to my Clefable and have it as a Death Fodder directly on the Rotom. Now the problem is I need this Steelix down. Steelix and Slowking tends to represent a big core problem towards my Emboar, because I cannot lock myself into Electric Move when Steelix is around, and I cannot lock myself into Flare Blitz when his Slowking was around. So taking one of those two guys down is important for my Emboar to have easier path later on in the game. So that is my plan right there. Earthquake taking at the Leaf Storm, neither of those two in the background cannot take it for the life of them. I do go to Clefable via Death Fodder. This game really shows Death Fodders are important. They really are. You preserve, if you can, you preserve your Death Fodders, even if they are like at 1 HP. There are so many situations where you can actually find them incredibly important. Still, I'm gonna go to Tangrowth after seeing his Slowking coming in. I can easily Leaf Storm away. Again, Leaf Storm easily taken down at this particular amount of HP he's at now. That's that's a bit crazy. It really shows how many switches this Rotom was doing. Ember comes in, is Choice Scarf, that Defane is Choice Specs. Without no doubt I will outspeed and take him down clean. But in the end it came down to be a really close match. So I hope you guys have enjoyed as much as I did. Good game to my opponent. Feel free to share this video with others. Thank you very much for your continuous support, and until next time.